Hey Latin learners! Today's a beautiful day, and it's another great day to beautify our minds and our home island. Let's learn some amazing verbs and plant some flowers while we're at it. This is our first exposure to verbs. Our first word is lado, ladare, ladawi, laudatus. Now when you're memorizing these vocabulary words, I highly suggest memorizing all 4 of these principal parts. Now they look long and scary, but really you're just memorizing the stem, lad, and then the rest of the pieces, so o, are, awi, atus. So thankfully it's not too bad. Now, an easy way to remember what this word means is to think of the stem here, lad. If you give someone lad, then you're giving them praise. And then we have occupo, occupare, occupawe, occupatus. If you think of the word occupy, then if someone in the military is doing that, then they are seizing it. We have appugno, appugnare, appugnawi, appugnatus. I like to think of the word opposed to remember attack or assault. Pretty violent. Then we have oro, orare, orawi, oratus. If you think of the word oral, that is when you say something with your mouth out loud. This word means beg or pray. Both of those are oral actions. Then we have paro, parari, parawi, paratus. This one's pretty easy to see in the stem, that par. Prepare, or get ready. Prepare, get ready. We have pugno, pugnare, pugnawi, pugnatus. This one's kind of a branch of appugno, appugnare, appugnawi, appugnatus, and it just means fight. The interesting thing about this one is that it's intransitive. So remember that one too. We have supero, superare, superawi, superatus. If you think of a superhero, superheroes are able to overcome, conquer, or surpass all around them. We have porto, portare, portawi, portatus. If you think of your phone as portable, then you know that means that you can carry it. Something that's portable means that you can carry it. Then we have centurio, centurionis. This one you can see in the stem, centurion, because it means centurion. Centurion was a commander of 100 men in an army. And then we have numerous, e. This one's pretty easy to remember. Numerous, e, means number. Do, dare, dedi, datus. Now this is a first conjugation verb, but the trick of it is remembering that its third principal part is not like a normal first conjugation verb. It has that D-E-D-I instead of that normal A-V-I that you would see in a first conjugation verb. And this word means give. And then we have wako, wokere, wokawi, wokatus. This one's also a first conjugation verb, but you can see that it has very irregular endings with the ARE, AVI, ATUS, just like that. And if you think of vocal cords, then you might be able to remember that this means call. Then we have interim. You may have actually heard this word before. It comes up in maybe movies or a theater production, but it means meanwhile. That may shed some light on what that means when you hear it in theater production or something like that. Then we have mors mortis. This one's a little scary. If you think of mortal, as in we are all mortal, then you will remember death. Don't think about that one too much though, just memorize it. Then we have hiberna, hibernorum. If you think of the word hibernate, as in a bear will hibernate in the winter, then you might remember winter quarters, the place where he goes to hibernate. Now, technically, is not talking about a cave or anything like that. It's talking about the place that soldiers would go to stay in the winter. But thinking of the word hibernate would help you to remember that this means winter quarters. Notice though, this is a second declension neuter word. You will only see it in the plural. See that aurum? That's second declension neuter. Alright, so these next 4 words are a little tricky only because they're all short and kind of similar, and their meanings are all pretty similar. They're where, who, what, why. So they're all very similar meanings, but the trick is just remembering which one is referring to what. So ubi, however, means where. Now this might help you, it may not, but if it doesn't, don't worry about it. One thing that helps me is the words that start, of these 4, the words that start with Q are pronouns. Where is an adverb. Quis is a pronoun, that means who. Quid also starts with a Q, so that means it's going to be a pronoun. It means what. And then cur. Cur does not start with a Q, which means it's going to be an adverb, at least of these 4 here. And this means why. Alright, and then we have locus e. Notice plural is second declension neuter endings, so be careful with that one. If you think of local or location maybe, then you'll remember that this means place. Then we have alienus aum. This one's pretty fun. If you think of an alien, as you kind of see in the word, then you might think of unfavorable, anothers, or foreign. That would be an alien. Pretty good description. However, this is, if you think of this type of alien, this is more like the alien of the Bible, meaning not from the same country. So, not as in from outer space with green heads and 3 eyes. Oratio, orationis, if you think of an oration, that might make you remember that this means speech or prayer. And then we have semper. This is an adverb that means always. Oops. And then we have sicut. This means as. Then we have in principio. You may have memorized this one if you did foundations in classical conversations, but you could also remember it by thinking that if you think of principal, or like the principal of a school, for instance, then that's kind of like the head of everything, you know, of the school, you know, the beginning of all what happens in the school. So in principio means in the beginning. Then we have in saecula saeculorum. This one's really fun to say if you can pronounce it. And it's easier to remember just because it takes forever to say. Guess what it means? In saecula saeculorum means forever, or world without end also. That one sounds a little more poetic, but forever is a little shorter to write. And then we have ne. Ne is an important one, so pay attention to it and read everything Henle has to say about it. Ne is a particle used in questions. That's what it says that the definition is. Particle used in questions. Basically, all it does is you add it to a word in your sentence, just one of them, and then all of a sudden there's a question mark at the end of your sentence. So you'll learn about that one once you start looking at it. But pay attention to this one closely. Let's see if we can remember these vocabulary words. We have laudo, which means praise. Occupo, seize. Appugno, attack or assault. Oro, beg or pray. We have paro, which means prepare or get ready. Pugno, which means fight. Supero, which means conquer, overcome, surpass.
I love how this is coming together. We have some bees living right by the house that I think I'd love to move over here. I think they'd love all the flowers. Let's go get them.
Then we have porto, which means carry. centurio, which means centurion, and then numerus numeri, which means number. Do, dare, dedi, datus. Remember to memorize all four principal parts. This word means give. Woco, wokare, wokawi, wokatus. Call. Interim. Meanwhile. Then we have mors mortis. Death. Hiberna hibernorum. Winter quarters. Ubi. Where. Quis. Who. And quid, the other Q word. What. And we have cur, which means why. Locus, E. Remember, in the plural, it's neuter, loca, locorum. This means place. Alienus, unfavorable, another's, foreign. Then we have oratio, orationis, which means speech or prayer. Semper, always. And we have sicut. This one's a fun one. I kind of like to say this one. Sicut means as. Then we have in principio, in the beginning. And then in saecula saeculorum, which means poetically, well, you could say it means either, means world without end or forever. And then ne, which we just say is a particle used in questions.
Great job. This place looks great. Pay special attention to verbs. The harder you work now to memorize these words, the easier it'll be for you in the future. Also, as we were building this area, we decided it'd be fun to hire some villagers to help out, and we had some pretty hilarious interactions. We got a couple happy farmers working our greenhouse. They seem to be enjoying themselves. Having a bit of fun can often make tedious work enjoyable. Sometimes you find some happy surprises along the way.